Hello, Likers. Welcome back to our channel. It's me, your fave, your one and only, your baby girl, Malaika. So, like I said, we are doing the critical review of Mr. Aloy's series, When Marriage Becomes a Nightmare, episode 13. It starts with Jonathan, that is looking at Clara sleeping peacefully, and he's imagining that. Imagine that despite everything that happened today, this woman is sleeping peacefully without being remorseful. He said, to him, it was more like, I wish I had this mind to just buy, ah, you know, to just, it took a pillow to try. As soon as he was on that pillow, this guy was calling again. And he was like, not again, not again. This particular person whom we are fighting because hangs, he cannot call. So, how can another man from outside destroy your home? Like, imagine. He was angry, pouring the frustration on Hank, saying that this is not right. But thankfully, Clara was awake, just woke up at that time to realize that he had her phone and everything. She just got back her phone from him because this is her phone. Because the next thing you might know that he'll take it and smash it on the wall or the floor. So who is going to pay for? So use your own phone now, smash your own phone. And this woman is exhausted. She has been working all day. Who wants to be working all day, come back home to a nagging husband? It's exhausting. The next thing shows Hank's mom, being angry at Hanks because to her, Hanks, you cannot be calling a married woman this late. It is not proper. And Hanks is complaining about her phone being switched off. So his mother was more like, this is a woman, so she tries to understand. To her it was more like, any sensible man if it's not the man, it will be the woman, switch off their phone, and they'll not be picking an ex's call at this time. So she's trying to make her son understand that he's treading on a dangerous path because you are going against a married couple. Get a life for yourself. That's what she wants. She just wants her son to have her own life, and for him to rest, because for her, he's just doing too much. He cares so much he cares a lot about the married woman, and this isn't right. And she understands that because she's a woman, but Hanks does not understand it. So the next scene shows Benny and her friend. Like this one, we don't know her name yet. So when you hear how rumors are flying, her mother, they open the restaurant. A man opens a restaurant for her mother, stuff like that. And she feels like, based on the fact that Benny is her friend, she has to put her 2 cents. That's why they said the moment you're bending down, looking at another person, yash, knows that yours is left open for other person to bend and be looking at it. Yes. You cannot have skeleton in your closet and you're trying to look into other person's closet. So I like Benny in one thing, she is very outspoken and she's very truthful. So to her it was more like, guy, how can you want to judge my mom of being a married woman and accepting a restaurant gift from another man? You understand? Whereas your own mother is a single mother. At least my mom is married, she's in a matrimonial home. Because the girl was trying to make it understand that she has no right to take something from a man outside, whereas she's in her husband's home. And Benita made her to understand also that your own mother, that is not even married, that does not have a husband, had you out of wedlock. So those to her, it was more like, between your mother and mine, who is even more sensible? The worst of it, or you don't even know your father's name, you don't know who your father is. So she was trying to dig in at this girl, like Benita can protect her mother for Africa, don't play. So she was making her friend understand that, girl, don't come for my mom. Don't come for my parents. I will stand here and defend them. Especially coming from someone like you, No, 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 no. That is a no. You know, that's I know people like that who first attack. Once you retaliate and try to put them in their place, they don't like it. So this girl definitely she felt offended, because to her Benita is coming for her family. But she forgets that she's sitting on this girl's couch and talking about her parents. So you can talk about somebody else's parents and they cannot talk about yours as well. That's a problem. And this is how we act as human. We'll start something, we'll start something, but when they retaliate, because retaliation is all the time is always bad. It always looks bad. When you retaliate, the same energy, you know, you retaliate with the same energy, rather, it becomes an issue. But Benita was ready for her. So the next scene shows Jonathan and his stupid friend Emeka, you know. So Emeka traveled, she went, so he just returned and he shocked the lights to hear that a lot of things went down during his absence. And to him it's crazy, like, so all of these things went down when I was not around. So how come, you know? So now he's making Jonathan know that, guy, at the end of the day, if you don't want to lose your manhood, understand, be a guy, man, exploit this thing, enter this guy, eat him up like a canker worm, you understand, like, to him, pretend to be okay, like pretend, so that maybe you can get something out of it, you understand, you can get something out of this guy, now that the guy likes your wife and is doing all of this. If not, you'll be tossed to the side. I promise you. So he's trying to make him, like, for him to take advantage of the situation, humble himself, pretend that he has swallowed his pride, enter this guy, for this guy to get him a job, you understand, through his wife, and that he should use his daughter, because his daughter is his wife, it's his wife's happiness, like, she used a daughter against the mother, so that he could get a job, from this guy. And once he gets that job, he will exploit it. You understand? And now you know that Emeka is a greedy son of a bitch, because how can you invite your friend out and now you're asking him to split the bill? And this guy is broke as F, you know and look at, you see a grown AWS man, begging, like, guy, come on, don't embarrass me like this. So he wants that if he buys drink, the guy should buy chicken, something chewable for them to be eating and be drinking. You know that Emeka is first a greedy person. So the next thing shows Jonathan, that is trying to use the method Emeka taught him, to use their daughter to his advantage, try to pretend that he's remorseful, and all the rest. He has changed. He once was for the best of it for his family. So eventually Benita, she loves her dad, irrespective of the fact that they are not on speaking terms. They are not that they are not on speaking terms, but he's always treating her some type of way. So she noticed that her dad was down and everything, feeling moody. Decided to talk to her father, only to find out that um he's crying, stuff like that. And to her, I was like, why would you be crying? So he's trying to pretend to tell her that, no, like, to him, it's more like the fact that I cannot take care of my family, is affecting my mental health, you know. And apart from that, your mother is doing everything, like, try to emotionally blackmail the child, try to make the child see that he's feeling down because he cannot provide for his family. He wants to be able to provide for his family, you know so that at least he's to show that he's a man. What type of man would he be if he cannot provide for his own family? So practically, he's playing with his daughter's emotions and making her to understand that at this point in time, he can swallow his pride, get a job. It's so difficult to get a job in Nigeria. We know that. So now job is by connection. So if they can connect him, and the only person he can ask for is his wife, and he doesn't mind whoever could his wife could ask for a job. All he wants is to be able to fend for his family. You understand? And his daughter is kind of shocked alive too, because to her, this is like my dad is somehow. So then he slipped in the fact that he doesn't mind if his wife could even talk to Hanks, you know, to get him a job. And his daughter was shocked, like that. Hanks, are you serious? He said yes. At this point, he's not thinking as a husband. He's not thinking, no, that is not thinking like a man. At this point, he's thinking like a dad and a husband. This selfish MFU, thinking like a husband and a father, you know. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to show his daughter that he's feeling bad, that the things, for example, the things that his wife is doing, these are the things that he's supposed to do as a man, but now she's the one doing them. He doesn't like it, so he needs to do something. You understand? So that is why he's ready to even break bread with his enemy. You understand? Like he's ready. Sorry about that. He's ready for that. So like anything, he just needs to put food on his on their table. You know that anything, whatever it is, he will have to do. So now he's indirectly talking to his daughter because he knows that his daughter has an influence, like she has influence over her mother, you know, and all the rest. So and he knows that his daughter is so soft-hearted like her mother. So definitely she will really care and she will want to do something about it. Then when he was done talking, in his mind, he was like, I want you to believe me, like, believe me, I can see you. I can. Hi. What type of dad uses their child against their wife? What type of father? This is just goes to show how self-centered and evil this guy is. For real. He is evil. The next thing shows Benny that is wondering like if her father was serious or not. Like she was asking her question, she was asking herself, was he really serious with what he was saying? And the next thing shows Kenny at Clara's restaurant. He went there to eat, to have lunch, at least, and to patronize her as well. And Clara was happy because at least, in as much as Jonathan is not supporting her, Jonathan's friend is supporting her, so it means a lot to her. And to her, just to see that she's doing a great job and to talk about it, to show her appreciation, it means the world to her because that's all she needs. That's really all she needs. And she feels bad, she feels really sad that her own husband doesn't really care that much. Like to him it's more like he doesn't care. To him it's like his wife is doing something so horrible, something that nobody has ever done before. So like now Kenny is a caring person, but he wants to know what's going on between his wife's friend and this guy. He wants to know because he's a good guy. You understand? So eventually Clara will tell him like she and Hanks, they have nothing. Yes, they are exes, no doubt, but they have nothing. Besides, Hanks is just a friend, who wants to see her win. Like, as it's true that some people might not believe, unfortunately there are people in this world that just want everybody to win. Like me, I just want everyone to win. I want everyone to have money so that people will stop begging. People will just stop begging. It's true that some people, no matter how they have, they think that if they don't have like other people, they don't have anything. No, you are rich in your own level. It doesn't matter. You can be 10,000 naira rich, 1,000 naira rich, 500 naira rich, 200. We are rich in our own levels. You must not be a Dangote rich or a Davido rich. No, we are rich in our own level. So she's making Kenny understand that this guy just wants to see her win. He wants to see her win. Then he made he asked a question. What about Debbie? How far with her friendship with Debbie? Like, does she really trust Debbie? And Clara was shocked. Like, she was like, this is my best friend, this is my friend. you know. Then Kenny said something. He was more like, be careful, they said be careful of your enemies. Also be careful of your friends. Those that hang around you, your friends, be careful of them. Yes, yes, it's true, because your friends will be there for you. They'll hang around you. They'll show that they care about you, but they'll easily buy you faster than your enemies, because you'll be careful with your enemies, not knowing that your friends, they are frenemies. Yes, frenemies, which means friends slash enemies is frenemy. You understand? So Clara is kind of confused, like she's trying to ask if Kenny was trying to say something. But Kenny, being an intelligent man, he cannot just say things out of the open without having facts, without doing his investigation. So all Kenny could say was like, I have told you, just be careful, okay? So let me enjoy my meal. All right. Just be careful. Watch out, be watchful, especially people around you. It's very important. And like, as truth be told, that is what, if we do that, a lot of calamity will be avoided. So the next scene shows Clara getting home from work. She's exhausted. The day has been so hectic for her. It's not been easy, but now she's welcomed by her sweet baby girl, she who is happy to see her mom and everything. But Clara was not happy because, she was supposed to go help after school, but she couldn't go as well because she saw her father crying and everything. And being a good child, being a child that is compassionate, because it takes a compassionate person to care about others. When people are crying, they want to be certain, they want to know what's going on with them. It takes a compassionate person to actually want to know. So she tried to make her mother understand that, see, this is what I saw about that. He was crying and everything and all the rest. So do you think you can get him a job? Like, she wanted to know if you, it's not like her father indirectly sent her without her even knowing that her father was sending her. She's a child, she will not understand that her father was, blackmailing her into realizing something. You understand? So she, being a child, she's taking it to her mother, and her mother already knows that her husband is a manipulative person. She's trying to make her daughter stay away from it, trying to make Benita realize that your father cannot change like that. I know him, I've known him for 20 years, so listen to me. Your father, his ego is so big that it will be practically impossible for him to change. You understand? So no matter, despite what he's saying, please just stay out of it. Okay, so she wants her daughter to stay out of it. She doesn't want her daughter to, to talk about it or whatsoever, because she knows her husband. But this is a child, and this is her father we are talking about. So eventually she's trying to, to make sure that her father has something, because her father is trying to make her understand that if only he had a job, a lot of things that he will be able to do. But without a job, it makes it practically impossible. Things like giving her the things that, like buying her stuff. Right now, look at him. He cannot even provide for his family. He looks like a failure. Like no normal child will want to hear that their parents are going through stuff like that. No normal child will want to hear that. So she hearing that, she feels bad. She feels sad. For her dad. And to her it's more like, I wish I could do something. It's more like, if she could do something, she would definitely do it for her father. So she's trying to make her mom understand that her mom usually preaches to give people a second chance, to give people opportunity in life. But her mom is telling her that, listen to me, I know your father too well. And besides, I have to protect Hanks, and I have to protect you, and I have to protect myself, because if I get a job, guys, if I talk to Hanks, eventually he could help, to give a job to your father, but your father could bring down his company. Yes, your father and Hanks, they don't go hand in hand. It cannot work. So please, just so she's trying to make her daughter understand that it is not going to work. I don't want to be in trouble. I have to protect myself, and I have to protect your dad, and I have to protect Hanks as well. Hanks is a good person. So I cannot help, I cannot help your father, because your father, I know him. So the next thing shows Clara, who is done talking with her daughter, and she walked into her bedroom, and there Jonathan was, still awake, waiting for her to come back. So Clara just sat and was wondering, like, why would Jonathan be using their daughter? When she asked that question, the next thing Jonathan would be like, when a narcissist is trying to manipulate you, he doesn't want to talk about it. He just wants to welcome her, ask her how her day was, something that he's not doing. But sometimes I don't know why people think that people believe there's immediate switch, because nobody switches like a cyborg. It's not possible. You're not a cyborg. You're not a robot. You cannot just switch from money, from good to bad. So Benita is trying to see through his game. Benita is making him understand that is not what I'm talking about. I want to understand why you want to use our daughter. So in his own defense, he's not trying to use their daughter. You understand? He is just trying to get a job as a husband, as a father. He wants to do this because, like, he doesn't mind swallowing his pride, so that he will be able to provide for his family, irrespective of where the provision is coming from, irrespective of the fact that it's coming from Hanks. But Clara is not buying it, because Clara knows very well that Jonathan and Hanks are like two opposite, like they don't go along. Because Jonathan lost his previous job because of Hanks. Because he was working, he resigned because it was Hanks's project, So how come all of a sudden you swallow your pride, and because you want to fend for your family, you're willing to take a job, if you to make a covenant with the devil? You understand? But Clara, being a woman with a very soft heart, being the type of woman who understands, and who try to take certain things into consideration, she's trying to really wanting to know if she can really trust her husband, if she should believe what he's saying, But Jonathan is making her believe that, trust me, believe what I'm saying. I really need this job, and I'm doing this for us. I want to do this for our family. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this because maybe there's something I'm planning, I'm plotting. No. It is simply because I need it. It is because I need it. So, but Clara is a soft-hearted person. She's wanting to, when you look at her eyes started changing. She wants to cry because she sees that Jonathan is, where if it's me, oh my, I can't. Nobody switches like that. Nobody changes like that. Are you God? What? God does not change. God cannot repent, by the way. Nobody switches like that. Because it's only God that can change day from night, night from day, in the twinkle of an eye, not a human being. So he managed to try to convince Clara, that he has changed. This is what he truly wants for his family. He wants them back together. He wants to be able to provide, because Clara is overworking herself, and that they are eating from that money. To him, it was more like, this is the same money we are eating from. So what tomorrow your business, what if your business collapses tomorrow because you're feeding us from your capital, stuff like that. So this is the reason why I truly want this job, And Clara, she felt overwhelmed seeing her husband, to her changing like that, wanting what's best for the family stuff. Clara, get a grip of yourself. So, like, as we are going to end this video, honestly speaking, what's his name, Jonathan is something else. Emeka is a bad influence, because Emeka is the one who put this in him. It's true that you cannot entirely blame Emeka, because these are two grown AWS adults, which means he can take decisions for himself. He's not obliged to listen to a maker, but he chose to listen to a maker because a maker gives him those decisions that, like those advice that he likes, because that is what he wants, that is what he likes. That's why, because if he didn't like that, you will not be taking advices from somebody like a maker. You understand? Where you have someone like Kenny, why would you want advice from a maker? But like I always say, we should learn to protect our mental health. Okay, we should know the people that we should avoid in our space or not. And marriage is not for the faint-hearted. Marriage is not marriage is a beautiful thing. Okay, so stay blessed, and on this note I have to say